Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for my not being at ALIS reporting. Today it was supposed to be at ALIS Design. I was really excited to be there because I was going to get to talk to someone fun who I will speak to in a minute. But first, I want to thank our friends over at Unifocus. Unifocus, technology that drives value. Please check them out. I should have been there with them in person, but I'm not, so do me a favor, check them out. All right, today we've got with us Alexis Readinger. She is the founder of Preen, a design firm. How are you doing, Alexis? Great to see you.
Great. Thanks, Glenn. Thanks for having me.
One of the things that I've been focusing on a lot lately is we really are 100% in the experience economy, and so many hotels have to be so similar by design. I think everyone is like 98, 99% similar and great. But I think food and beverage and the design of those spaces are really where you could differentiate yourself, really where you could shine. And, if you're a hotelier and you do it really well, I guess you could preen about a little bit as well. Sorry for that. Sorry for the bad puns, Alexis. So my question to you is, how do you think about experiential dining as that differentiator for hotels when it comes to creating the atmosphere and design off the plate?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation because the amount of differentiation is going to vary to the offering and to the property.
Yep.
And I think we've seen a lot of differentiation in food culture over the last 20 years. And now we're seeing a retraction.
I would say absolutely, but I'll also joke by saying it seems to be that everyone pivots in exactly the same direction. I can't go 3 feet now without a new Korean barbecue place opening up, for example.
Right. There's definitely waves.
Yeah. All right. So go on. Now that I got that out of my way.
So, and it's interesting. I think globally, we've seen a real rise in design occurring. Everyone can see everything. It's like the news. We can see all the bad things happening all around the world, right? It's overwhelming.
It really is. It really is. That's why I stayed on MySpace. That way I don't have to worry about knowing anything.
Did you really? What we've seen is all the design increased everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But there's a certain mimeticism that's occurring as well. So there's a lot of concepts being developed where people aren't deeply creating meaning in the design.
Right.
And I think that's the place.
It is a problem. It is the place where you can win, and it is the problem because the way I'm seeing Alexis, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I'm finding everybody is doing these modern designs that it doesn't matter what's being served in them. They all look the same. They all look indistinguishable, and they all look like, well, if the pizzas aren't selling today, we could sell tacos tomorrow.
Yes. And restaurant is like one of the most complex design models that there is. Because it's basically all the technical aspects of the hospital, plus the expression of the offering, the chef, what that experience is. Plus, this is where people go for some of the most important moments in their life, right? So
the food actually has to have taste, unlike hospital. So you got that company.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So really dialing in all of those things together is the most important part of the experience, and how to get to that experience is in the meaningfulness of it. And I don't think that people necessarily cognitively know when it's not working, but they feel it intuitively.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think there's generally in society, there's not enough looking internally and understanding what our brain and body is telling us, because that could really take us in the right direction, right? That when you listen and you know things aren't working, then you could pivot. So say things aren't working. What is the first thing that you think a hotelier should do when they've come to the realization that whatever it is not working, but they need to build business by getting people in the hotel and outside the hotel to come and eat in that space?
Yeah, exactly. I know. I was just telling a hotelier friend of mine yesterday, send me your pictures. If it's an easy fix, I'll just tell you what to do.
Right.
I think it's always a question of capital, right?
Right.
And so you absolutely need somebody who understands this space to dial it. And it could be as simple as, and not being design related, and you actually need a host. You need a real personality attached to the property. Or it might be that there's some functional intimacies and layout issues. But it just needs a fine eye on it.
Yeah. So I think what you're really saying is that whatever's going on, you got to have fresh eyes. You got to step away from it and then look at it cleanly to find all of those things we miss. I kind of put that as like the shoe by the door theory that I have, Alexis. You know, you leave the shoes by the door, you see them, you're going to get them, and then you don't get them for a few days, and then all of a sudden they just kind of blend into the woodwork and you stop noticing it anymore. And I see that a lot of venues have that same sort of problem.
I was in a hotel yesterday for an event, and I noticed that they had the ground floor, they had a coffee offering, and it was such a miss. It should have been a bar.
Right. And why can't it be
they may have an entitlement restriction, but yeah.
I don't know. But let's say they don't, then you should probably have it, you know, dual day parts. The first part of the day is coffee, and then have some sort of coffee and booze, and then switch to booze. But if you want a coffee, you could get it. But, you know, who's getting anything like that except an espresso martini by the time I'm talking about. So give me a quick example of where hoteliers might be leaving on the money on the table when it comes to F&B. And what would you do? What would you do about that?
I mean, I think one of the biggest problems is not having a really clear plan, or having the plan change midstream.
Yeah.
I mean, the most expensive F&B is expensive to build, right? And the most expensive money there is building it and have it not work. So, you know, recently we won Best Restaurant Design in the Americas, plus a cascade of the Gold Key and a bunch of awards for a restaurant we did. And midway through the project, our client said, you know, I really want to scale back on this. And I think we should remove these massive pieces in the middle, and we should remove these intimate shells. And I was like, no, that's exactly what's going to drive your success.
Right.
And it did. Yeah.
So I see this a lot, that penny wise, pound foolish, to take a cliche approach. You think you're being smart, but you really wind up hurting yourself in the long run. And the only way to be successful is to have a great design that connects emotionally with the customer, that says what the place is all about, and gives them a reason to spend money. Alexis,
yes,
give me a good plug. How can we find you over at Preen?
Oh, I'm at Preen Inc. on Instagram, or preeninc.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Yeah. I really appreciate you helping us today. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you guys for being here. You know, really great to see you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this. And remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.